is up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and this particular review recap is actually Mary Jane's episode 8. I thought I'd DVDR because I thought it was a movie together. To make a long short story, after I do this recap, I'm gonna have to look at 70% of episode 7. I realized I'll just make two separate videos for both episodes. I thought it was seriously gonna be a 2-hour movie, but okay, y'all. Well, let's get started. We're picking up exactly where we left off, where David is at her door asking about, by the way, did you steal my sperm? And Mary just kind of duck and dodge really well. But let's just say it's just one of the type of things like you're saying stuff, but you ain't saying nothing. But she does guide him to the kitchen and does show in the baking soda box and shows his baby sperm that's still there, right? And of course, she's I think even often trying to everyone. She was like, I know this is not, really no explanation. She's kind of still kind of in the way like, with this, right? And he ends up basically like, you know what, this ain't no joke and stuff like that. He even got the pregnancy test already involved. He obviously went to CVS or Walgreens or whatever, because he asked her like, is you pregnant? And she's like, no, I'm not pregnant, whatever, right? So first she was going to end up, I guess, back and forth. In the end, it ends up that they sign and take pregnancy test, but they do sit down and talk. He basically's like, I knew you were crazy, but I thought you were good crazy. I didn't know you were crazy like this. And of course, Mary Jane took kind of offense to that because, to be on the sarcastic side, he was bringing the time. I guess he was saying his words that she felt like she pulled him on the side. Like one of the examples was pulled on the side of the road, basically told him to get out the car, or some stuff like that. But then she was like, "But you know what? We had great makeup sex after that and stuff like that, whatever case is." And he just like, "Huh?" or something like that on the lines. But she was just like, "Obviously, you only like me when I am a certain type of crazy and stuff like that. So whatever." But then it calmed down after a few minutes. It wasn't like it was really intense argument stuff like that, but it is like, how do you expect to realize somebody, took your stuff, something's personal that and could have impregnated themselves, that's labeled foul. So he kind of took it better than some people would have took it as, or it could be because since he still actually has feelings for Mary Jane or whatever, and unfortunately it was really her that ended it was her that ended the relationship. And for what and the thing is, she's the one who's put in her friend's head, or her family obviously seen the good in him, or whatever the case was. But as far as to most or some of her friends, and now one of her ex friends, that she kind of made David seem like almost if like he just drained her out and she was technically a user and a leech. And so anyway, he ends up wanting to talk a little bit more, and she says pretty much like, you need to get, don't you need to get back home to somebody? And before he left, he ends up saying this. He was like, you know what? If you wanted a baby, all you had to do was ask. You know what I mean? So, of course, she's on the prowl to find out who, she is, who is the snitch, basically. Which is something, whereas I ain't gonna lie, first thought I not to say discriminate, but 6 degrees separation. You never know who you know. Just like how Andre had found out in the last episode that she was dancing with David or whatever the case was, just by accident, by somebody snapping a photo, and here she is in a lovely green gown in the background of David. Okay. Dancing probably the gin and juice. Jazz version. So, anyway, y'all. Just fast forward. I'm not gonna go through scene by scene, but just some of the highlights that I remember that stood out in the show, just to let y'all know. So now it was a lovely bad dress. Now, obviously, Michelle, the one who claims she's the marriage fixer by being the mistress, but in her terms the marriage fixer. She goes in this lovely dress. Mary Jane to go see her and basically confront her in one of the events. I don't know, she's art director of this place, whatever, exhibitor, whatever. But, she basically goes to her job, and there's a night where you see, potential buyers, probably art deals, stuff like that at this event. And she pulls it aside, like, she automatically thinks Michelle, because Michelle's known, I guess, to be kind of fun but messy. And she tells her basically, like, you know what, come on, let us talk. Let us talk right now, okay? Because she already knew. She just knew. She didn't ask. She automatically just knew that she was the one that disclosed this information. And she's like, y'all already know, to be messy and stuff like that, or whatever the case is. And you didn't have to do like that, basically like letting her know, like, we're no longer, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Michelle had let her know, which was true, was like, first of all, in the past 8 years I knew you, friend, David's obviously making a fool of you like he did 8 years ago, for one thing. And second of all, you can only be around me was again convenience for you. She basically invited on several numerous occasions, in Michelle's word, plenty of invites. She wanted to, hang out because they were supposed to be friends, but I guess only when it's only convenient, or she had nobody else to be bothered with, or whatever the case was. Because, Michelle's like, you only want to be with a jolly big girl when it's convenient for you, or, whatever. And I tried to invite you several times to my house. You basically just make it seem like, she really in the end wasn't like a good friend, no way, to a certain extent. And she's just like, it's over, we don't have to be friends. And then when Mary Jane again could be like, you know, when she brought it up, Mary Jane was like this, thinking Mary Jane thinks automatically like, you trying to do some reverse psychology thing on me, homegirl. Let me tell you this, like, what, I love your friend on the crime and stuff like that. I hope basically like, in other words, I hope it was worth it. Whatever she got out of it. I don't know if she thought like worth it means just like getting a good kick out of saying something that foul starting some trouble, or thinks she got paid. I don't know, but she ends up letting her know like it's over, Michelle. So another important scene next is Lisa, and I hope they develop Lisa's character more when they get back to season 2, because for this reason, actually, if you notice Lisa now, during there, we got Mary Jane in the first episode after the pilot, during there about to cut her own hang off and need her own ambulance and 40 plus stitches, in order to save Lisa, who either took too many pills or having some type of breakdown, and it just kind of like, it just faded off from there. Besides her buying weed from her little brother, we don't pretty much know what really went on, you know what I mean? So she up there, y'all, with oh, I got my word about me here. Lisa, right? And she tell about that Michelle is messing with the mayor and stuff like that. How would she like that? Talk like she's so fixed her up or some geisha, something like that. She's saying like that. You know what? I actually tell some stuff with her. Here she got the nerve, Michelle, with her, basically making it seem like, like F Michelle, F Michelle, basically, she can kiss my ass type of situation, right? And here we got Lisa, all like this. I don't know if she had any water or anything, but she kind of looked like she was just like this. She had this good look on her face, like, oh, ish. Oh, so she tells her basically, do you got tequila in there, Mary? And she just like, no, you don't usually be drinking hard stuff. So it's like, hold on, let's drink together. So I swear between two of them, they took like 3 shots back to back, both of them. And that's when she knew. I already knew that she was, besides being guilty, we should know by now that all of a sudden she wants to mess with something she usually don't. And just at the moment after, she automatically thinks of Michelle. So she basically ended the friendship, even though, basically in the friendship, that, or had her accused, or someone else take the fall for her mess. And all of a sudden, she decides to tell her, it was me. I didn't mean to. I only did it because, she was trying to tell David to stay away. Because, like I said, even though Lisa had no right telling David to stay away in the first place, like I said, it's kind of like, I want to know more about Lisa's character in the next season. Because it seemed like it was a lot of character development they still need to go to. Maybe they should have had a couple more episodes this season. So she basically like, you know what? She already got her purse ready to go, but that's just why I also want to know her character too, because I know that she didn't check her. All the next thing they do is they sit here down and probably during their bout, I don't know how many bottles between both of them, they getting drunk and they trying to sit here, and she's trying to call back Michelle to apologize or whatever. They call it block, calling her block, and here you got Mary Jane like this on one thing. Sorry, I was on my period, girl. You know what? I'm so sorry. One of them type of things to try to make you an excuse. You were right. It's probably because David, how the way he is and had me acting. I'm so sorry, girl, because girl, ain't answer phone not to blame her, right? And she came to terms to say she probably has ended the friendship, or is pretty much over with. But like I said, she probably could be more sympathetic to Lisa, because like I said, whatever's going on with Lisa, maybe she may kind of like let certain stuff slide that she wouldn't have other people slide with. You get what I'm saying? So y'all get what I'm saying. I'm like, I ain't just talking to one. I ain't just being one. I'm just talking to you. I'm to y'all. Whatever. So, anyways, like I said, it's a drunken night. Then all of a sudden, Lisa, they go to David's house, and there's a party, and his girlfriend at the moment comes to the door, and because they have this drive, she has this driver Leo, a personal chauffeur, whatever, driving around, and they end up going to the house, and she thought that David had invited her to party. I was like, no, she just wants to talk to David, and the girl's like, she was just being a nice morning, like, this will not end well. She was like, okay, I'll take my chances. So David pulls on the side of her, talks to her certain things. He's just shocked, like, okay, what are you doing here? Type of thing. But I mean, they're in the house somewhere on the other side because he just told his girlfriend to go check on the mistakes and stuff, right? So he ends up, let her know, like, what are you doing here, blah, blah, blah. And, because, I forgot to tell one of the most important things. How the heck can I forget, y'all? Because it was just so crazy. When he leaves, homegirl puts on, I forgot, like I said, I don't take no notes. But this kind of stems from, again, like, okay, what the heck he want? Because here's what happens, y'all. After he leaves the house at the beginning of the scene, homegirl puts her Uggs on Mary Jane and goes, darn near about to hit somebody, chasing behind him, or David. And he's basically like, what? Like, what do you want? And, why are you doing this and stuff like that? Okay, you crazy as heck. And that's when she's up here, I always knew I loved you, one of them type of things, right? But he's just like, you didn't want me, what you had me, whatever, when I was trying to get my foot, when he was at a point where he wasn't as like in career rise or just starting to build up and stuff. And then I guess he felt, and what we're getting two different versions, is that she left him when he just wanted to be loved. His woman was supposed to be by his side or whatever. And he just felt like she left him at a time, like, whatever the case is. Of course, once he got himself together, whatever, he eventually did get himself together. But it's just that he just felt like, what, you left me when I needed you. I still needed you. I was getting myself together, and then your ass left me and stuff like that. But Mary Jane was trying to let my thumb, even around that time, like, I was there. I went through this and blah blah blah. One of those conversations, but it pretty much ended like was just like, okay, we officially knew someone over whatever type of things. And he drives off, and then she gets in the car and rolls back. So fast forward, it kind of picks up from where that conversation left off. It's just basically like, the whole thing. She's still in a drunken mess, and she's just like, this was supposed to be originally my house until you got with white girls, something like that. She says along the lines, and he's like, you do remember that my mom was white? Oh, okay, whatever she was talking about, but she was a drunken mess. But again, it was part two what it was saying, and to make a line, matters sure, she was just talking, the same stuff she's talking. But one of the last things she said before she went, she just said, like I said, it was one of those things she didn't want me, wouldn't have me. But before she left, she tried to ask him, if I would have stayed, would you would have married me? Just answer that, answer that final question. And he said, well, you know the answer already. And then she's just like, you know what? Basically to him, like, you know what? That's why you're arrogant. That's why only a white woman would deal with you with your arrogant ass. I am out of here. Okay. So, but you know what? It was kind of, in a way, Andre was kind of right watching, even though that was kind of just being bitter. But at the same time, she is unraveling, and just with everything going on with her, it wasn't going to be, after what she did, not, influence her. She first didn't know that Andre was married, but continued being messing with her and Mary, and kind of showing, kind of sitting here and bragging about it in front of his wife's face, that a bit, and encouraging other girls. I mean, they don't know about it, just saying, be, just be all in Avery's face about that. So after that, she's in the car again with Lisa, and Lisa's drunk. She has to, I guess, I don't know if she's on call, occasionally does, middle of the night. She got to sit there and, well, now, it wasn't really like late night, but, she has to deliver some twins, so she already had prepaid Mr. Leo, the chauffeur, in advance or whatever, or to take her to certain spot where she's supposed to go, either to I think Carl's place, and that's where they end up going. So her and Carl, again, on this lovely drunken evening, she first was already trying to tell Carl first, let's go to, the liquor store. Carl already seems like, because, like I said, the Lisa got delivered some babies and stuff. So Carl already sees it and stuff like that, right? And she ends up, basically, like I said, she was just like, she kind of knew probably might have had something to do with David, right? And to make a long story short, to fast forward, I think even then they were kind of like, the sperm, the sperm thing with whatever, just like everything that was going on. And she was just like, she understands about trying to fight, sometimes, fighting for love or being crazy for love type of thing, one of them type of things, right? But then Mary Jane decides to admit to her, I had an affair with a married man and stuff like that. And then Carol was like, oh, let's go. You know what? On that note, Leo, we gonna need some drink. But go. I changed my. Go back to the first thing she was talking about. Let's go to the liquor store. So they end up going, I think, to back to I think it was Carol's manager. I've got whose house there, but wherever they were at, they end up continues to get, she here Mary Jane picking up her business again, okay, and then now Carol's is there too. What was Leo? Did they just call Leo back again? Oh, they probably did, because I don't think the man was staying out there all that time. Okay. So, anyways, Carol just felt like this. Here's Mary Jane in a way trying to even justify about, yeah, I had an affair, but it was kind of like maybe I might have helped their marriage and stuff like that. Now she's somewhat talking similar to the way how she's talking shit about Michelle and her circumstances, but yet you kind of are trying to justify the same indignant actions. Okay. And Carol's like this. When she thought about it, it's like, basically, like, I mean, hell, I can't even, I just despise you right now. I mean, like I said, I'm just paraphrasing my words, because Carol felt like this. Now, Carol admitted that she felt she could understand why her husband cheated because, like I said, her career is one of those situations where her career is kind of like number one and everyone else is second. Sometimes she prefers to be at the job than be at home. She prefers to be sometimes a job, than be at home more. And she understood it, but when Mary Jane was just shocked, like, wait a minute, I thought you said that you rather actually prefer, you understood, you can like, how, why are you mad at me? But Carol was like, I just want a basic apology from the during winch and stuff like that. And it turns out, like I said, Carol kind of, even though she tried to understand it, she actually still was hurt by it. So she's telling Mary Jane, you need to apologize to this man's wife. And somehow, Google search or whatever, they find out, Zaba search, Google search, whatever, they find out where exactly Andre stays. So, I mean, Andre used to stay, but I mean, he went back in there. So, anyways, y'all, they end up having Leo pull up across the street, and apparently, even though we see Andre, of course, they duck and hide in the back, because her and Karen back, right? And they end up it ends up Avery still out the house because he got the two babies they got. I mean, they both got their roll on little roll on baggage, and they going with daddy, I guess, for the night and stuff. And then Karen was like, "See, he's still out of the darn house. Okay, you did this, basically type of thing. And here's Major Frost said, "When am I be going off pizza?" And then Avery's waving and she's standing outside and stuff. And then I gotta give credit to Avery to even go out in dark time, even though it's across the street, and she feels comfortable enough to walk to the car that she don't know. I'm just saying, okay. So Avery ends up and they're just like, here's Mary Jane's like, Leah, pull up. He was like, you gotta apologize. Like, they're go about. They're just going back and forth, right? And then by the time Avery's already walked out and Carol's actually trying to put the window down, she can't put it down anymore. Of course, Avery's like, okay, you're here, talking about what the heck is going on? And Patriots like, hi, I just want to say apology. She basically was trying to plea her thing, like, okay, I'm not trying to stalk you. I actually want to talk to you. And Kara's like, can I stop in the house, please? So they go in Avery's house, and Avery just like this, you know what I mean? You know, um, the TV's out or somewhere else. I hope, this particular TV's out. So, I want to be entertained. So why did come here? And Mary Jane ends up apologizing supposedly for making a mess more than what the situation was in their marriage. I apologize. At first, Avery was like, you know what? You think you just gave him apologize, you just go about your life and, whatever. And Carol's like this, I'm just going to keep it real with you. This may be my friend, but she's basically, on my last number around, she's despicable. I know what's like being in the same situation as you. But then she kind of, was letting Avery know also, too, is if anything, you can learn something still from this this heifer, because she's basically can tell you, because the real reality is basically because she's obviously doing something you're not, and that's, anything else. But Mary Jane was also trying to say, like, what, even though it may have been wrong as foul situation, but he does love and care about you and stuff like that, blah, 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 anything. And before I left, oh my gosh, why did Mary Jane say this? First Mary Jane was like, but just tell him, he's just, even though he's in a suit, he's a good warrior, just let him know, how, just, hey, hide him or feel, be more welcoming to when he comes home, ask how his day doing, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, when you give him a blowjob, get on your knees. Do not use a pillow because it hurts your neck. She's like, get the oh my gosh. And I'm just like, oh, what? But I'm just like, it's comic relief. I'm like, we all know 9 times 10 this would happen in real life. So, not to say it does, it's just one of those things. And so, they end up leaving. Carol's like, what the heck? When they're walking out, she's like, really? Did you have to go there? And she was just like, I'm sorry. I was just trying to give her a hint of what to do. But she did also say this last thing to Avery's like, I don't know if your marriage is going to work, but just please, just try your best, to work harder at it or whatever, one of those things is like, it's like a nice way of just saying, you need to do your part too to try your best, or fight for it, so to speak. Because like I said, that's how the thing with David was. David didn't feel like Mary J fought for him. He actually always, this is also another part I forgot to say, when she had talked to him at the party or crashed his party, just crashed his house. And he basically was saying like, you didn't find me. I always had money, but you kind of just, I just, cause she had to remind him, I cooked and cleaned and I did this for you, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I didn't ask you, but I mean, you still didn't want me to do it. He was like, I just wanted to be loved. I always actually had money, but I guess he must have came for money or something. And he was just like, you know what? It's just the fact is, like he said, he didn't feel like Mary Jane had him in his corner, but Mary Jane also was telling everybody as if, like, basically David was a losing leader, and just seemed like one of those things is, like, he also reminded her, like, he was there for her. He was there for her when she lost her job, got fired at other place, that Tamiko person. Sorry about y'all, it's your first time watching sometimes before making guest appearance. But yeah, he was just like, I was there for you and your time in need when she got fired. And we don't know, we'll hear, got fired from that other job. So he's like, basically like, I had your back at all times. I mean, times when, especially when it's supposed to be near there. But you did not have my back and everything. And I was just trying to, sometimes take time to get to where you want to in a career. So we'll fast forward, whatever. So like I said, Kara was just like, you know what? Kara was just like, when going fast forward back when they lived at Avery's house, because Baby Jane was just like, Dad, you really have to say all that about me? You're like, I'm despicable and everything else. And she was like, on behalf of all the women who've been betrayed, I'm sorry and stuff like that. And they basically still on good terms. So, they end up dropping Kara off. And at first, this Leo gives her a message about reading this certain book about finding, basically divert, like one of those like action you should receive, or like things that happen you prepare you for the stuff you want to use, goes having greatness and humbleness and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Which, like what you speak out in existence, if you do that, one of those type of things will come out to be, and everything happens for a reason. And then when he was telling her, it was just a good message along those lines. And then all of a sudden, first she's trying to ask to go back to Davis, and he's like, Did I just tell? I thought you were listening to me. And then she said, it's one of the places I'm supposed to go back based on whatever directions and stuff she was given by Lisa. And she was like, it's one of the places supposed to be back at my house. And he's just like, yeah. And so she goes back there, and it just seemed like I first, it cut a commercial, and just seemed like, I don't know if it was the same, because I think she was texting Lisa. Lisa was finished with her thing, and I think she said, come over to my house or something. It was some message like Lisa let her know, and, she was getting contacted in case if they were going to meet or something. And so we see Mary Jane with a robe on, and basically asking Lisa, who's over there, who obviously just got through with deliver some babies or something, whatever, right? I think it was the same night. Ends up basically asking her, now she still got David's sperm, and Lisa's like this, she's like, didn't you say you want to do the right way, do at least have a child with a man you and love with and stuff like that, right? And she's just like, whatever, and then, I guess, after being sober, I guess, she basically's like, well, you're the reason technically why I'm no longer with David. And Lisa's just like, okay, let's bygones be bygones and stuff like that. It's like, you have to let it go. But she's like, you know what? Okay, I'll do this, but just to prove a point, whatever. Just basically just shut up and also like, it's not going to work, but okay, whatever, right? So when she was going to go, she ends up going to towel and she's looking and staring into the light. And maybe it was supposed to be a metaphor for something else about finally figuring the light. And David just said, if you want a baby, she just kept hearing her head, because she's on the floor completely flat on her back. And she's telling her, basically she got to move up those legs up in order for her to do turkey base. So she's seeing her prepare, and she's about to do turkey base and method. And then Mary, you see extra sex her just staring, looking at the light on the ceiling. And she realizes, like, okay, this is not the right thing to do. So she just tell, you know what, I can't do this. And Lisa was just like, basically, okay, I understand stuff like that. Sometimes it is hard to move on. And she realization like this is it. So at the end, you hear this song about, God rest so Whitney Houston. I didn't know my strength or something along there. So she's talking to a rabbi on her shoulders. The last part, it was like three scenes at once. You have rabbi talking about, the first step, I guess, moving on in your life or being positivity is having, forgiveness and forgiveness. And so at that time, Andre breaks three cases of forgiveness and this big step. So we see Avery, break, letting him, I guess, going to try again in their marriage. And then Mary Jane knocks on David's door and she realized, you know what, I'm able to move on, have a great life. And she gives him the little bottle of sperm that she has, that she was going to originally use and just said, you know what, have a great life. And here's the interesting scene, if y'all didn't pay attention to it. He sits down with his girlfriend, and it says on the book what to expect. The mother expected mother to be one of those mother to be books and instructions. So obviously he's expecting a baby his own self. So, and that's pretty much how it is, y'all. Then it goes to the credits. So I hope y'all enjoy my reviews. Like I said, I'm basically backwards because I got to do episode 7. But yeah, I would definitely, even though I got to, I'll try to, and I've been doing a lot of more, so watching reviews, I am planning on most likely reviewing the game. I am going to do Mary Mary, and I might do Scandal, even though Scandal's like a television series puzzle during here. But I might do those as well. But thank you for rocking with me these episodes. Like I said, thank you for all the love, support of all the YouTubers. Let me just, that is just showing me love and everyone else. And I don't, okay, let me just see if I can put this in. Shout out to my Might Be, also might be 8 on 1 on here. Squeaky Jones, The Ghetto View, Some More Love, Jamie TV, Don Self the Queen, J Man from Up Discussion, Marcus Williams, also My Murdy Pearl Pony, Janae Nebessa, and then again, Buzzer Kim, I think he still does videos, but shout out to him as well. And forgive me, y'all, but I did write down Kima TV. She's sometimes, I think she's back on chat. But like I said, thank you for all the love and support from everybody. Forgive me, y'all. I'm not trying to get nobody's name, so if I forgot your name, don't don't get mad at me, y'all. I'm sorry. But y'all take care. Pleasant week, pleasant night, and pleasant evening weekend. And I definitely say I love y'all. Hugs. And I'll see y'all in the next one.